Hello everyone, this is Yaask Bansal. I've been working in Suho as an ESD consultant for 2.5 years now. So today we are going to talk about green travel plan and the purpose of green travel plan in town planning. Going further, introduction to SDAPP. I think my colleague Kevin has already talked about introduction to SDAPP in his previous webinars. So I'll be quickly going through these slides and then further we can discuss in detail about what is a green travel plan and what is the purpose of green travel plan. So, sustainable design assessment in the planning process is a scheme in Victoria where proposed developments are reviewed for sustainable design considerations and credentials as part of the application for a planning permit. Started in 2004 or earlier as grassroots effort in a few councils. Later, these councils formed CASPIC. So, reports for planning applications. These we have some main types of reports, which is Sustainable Management Plan known as SMP, Sustainable Design Assessment known as SDA, ESD Statement, which is required for City of Melbourne. It is generally based on Vista criteria. Then other reports which can depend on the type of council or type of project which is required. It can be Waste Management Plan, Green Travel Plan, Water Sensitive Urban Design. So Waste Management Plan, there's already a webinar which is done by me previously. So today we are going to cover Green Travel Plan in this webinar. So we'll start with what is importance of a Green Travel Plan. A Green Travel Plan sets out a plan designed to encourage the use of more sustainable modes of transport. The plan typically includes targets and actions for a new development to promote walking, cycling, and the use of public transport and carpooling. So it is basically a report which includes sustainable modes of transport near the development, or what kind of parking the development includes, like bicycle, and what is the pedestrian areas near the development. And it will also promote use of public transport and carpooling in the report. Going further, when is green travel plan required? Generally, there are different requirements always, depending on the type of council. I'll show in an example here, which is accommodation mixed use with residential component of 10 or more dwellings, or development of building for accommodation other than dwellings with a gross floor area of more than 1,000 square meters. Then for the non-residential purposes, development of a non-residential building with resulting gross floor area of more than 100 square meters, or alterations and additions greater than 100 square meters. Requirements mentioned above represent an example. Every council may have different requirements for the GTP. Yes, difference can be minor or it can be major. Supposedly here it's showing 10 or more dwellings. It's based on one of the councils. In some other council it can be 12 dwellings, or area can be more than 1,000 square meter. So etc. It depends. So before preparing the GTP, we need to check with the council requirements and then proceed accordingly. Then what are the details that we need to include in the green travel plan? First is the project overview. Second is the parking and access. Third is existing sustainable transport. Fourth is green star points. Fifth is information on car sharing. What is the project overview? In this category, we write about the project location. We can describe the roads which are adjacent to the development. Location of the project determines the proximity to the sustainable transport facility. As written in this slide, project location determines the quality of green travel plan that we can present. Supposedly, a project is located in CBD and we are preparing a green travel plan. Definitely, we'll be having more sustainable transport options in comparison to the project which is located in Bacchus Marsh area, or it is located in Bendigo area, where sustainable transport methods are not that widely available. So that's why project location is very important, and it will determine the proximity to the sustainable transport facilities. Then we'll talk about parking and access. This section talks about access points of the development. Entry and exit points of the development form an important aspect of the GTP. Also, there should be coordination between pedestrians, cars, and cyclists. This is to avoid conflict between the above mentioned typologies. As we can see image on the right hand side, the plan clearly represents pedestrian path, vehicle path, park space, bike parking entry, primary building entry, and secondary building entry. So if this is clearly marked on a plan, or it's clearly indicated on the side, then it will definitely avoid conflicts and it will avoid minor accidents or something like that. Car parking, we need to mention parking or proposed parking in the development. Electrical car charging point can be considered as well. We'll discuss about that later. And continuing from there, we need to write about how many bicycle spaces are provided in the development. Then we can mention about end-of trip facilities as well. Bicycle plan is present within most of the councils. As we can see image on the right hand side, this is City of Melbourne crowd spot prepared by I think City of Melbourne, as I said. So we have three different spots: issue spots, idea spots, and like spots. As we can see, there are so many red spots. It means that there are many issue spots in the area in terms of the bicycle parking or bicycle riding. Similarly, like spots are less, and idea spots are the ideas which people represent that can be used as bicycle parking spots. Motorcycle parking. If development consists of motorcycle parking, then it needs to be mentioned in the GTP. It also gives additional points in the transport category in BESS. Then we have existing sustainable transport. Voxcode website can be used to determine the existing sustainable transport options in the development. This tool takes into account the number of amenities and services within close proximity and provides a numerical score between 0 and 100. A development with a score of 0 would be heavily car dependent, and one with 100 would indicate that numerous amenities are easily accessible by foot. As we can see images on the right hand side, this is taken from one of our projects which we did in Waverley Avenue in Ivanhoe. Walk score was 88, transit score was 54. So it's pretty decent in comparison to the other areas if we do a green travel plan. Going further, so we can see a table on the left hand side which shows the range for the walk score, which is 90 to 100, considered as walker's parasite. Daily errands do not require a car. Similarly, we have 70 to 89, very walkable. Most of the things can be accomplished on foot. 50 to 69, somewhat walkable. It can be accomplished on foot. 25 to 49, mostly car dependent. 0 to 25, fully car dependent. So here's an example. This is an area in CBD which was put on walk score. So it definitely shows that we have so many amenities which can be accessed on foot. So we don't need like much explanation why it's there. So obviously it's CBD, so many things can be accessed on foot. So walk score will be really good. Similarly, this is one of the regional areas which we entered in the walk score, and what we got was we don't have any amenities in the close proximity. Everything is there for approximately 5 kilometers, 6 kilometers, or 7 kilometers. So a lot of it's heavily dependent on car. So we'll go further on that. Public transport network. Voxcode will provide an idea about the public transport in the area. Proximity to the public transport can be shown accordingly. Here's a table that we can write in a green travel plan, which can tell about the service, like train or bus, route number, nearest stop, and approximate distance and the walking time. Supposedly in this, we have shown a Hertz Bridge line. Nearest stop is Darabin train station, Ivanhoe train station. Approximate distance and walking time is 0.5 kilometers, which will take around 6 minutes to reach there. 650 meters, which can take around 7 minutes to reach there. Similarly, with bus, we can write about bus numbers and their routes. And similarly, we can write about their nearest stops and then their distance and walking time. This information can be taken from the PTV app. So it's pretty easy to obtain, and we can just use it and put it on the GTP. Then we'll go with the green star points. This is based on the design and as-built criteria. Also, we'll be having a new criteria which will be in green star building. So, but for now, we can use design and as-built, in which we have 5 points. One is 17B.1, access by public transport. Then we have reduced car parking provision. Then we have low emission vehicle infrastructure, active transport facilities, and walkable neighborhood. If we know if we are achieving few of this category, so we can claim the points there. But this is not necessary. This will add value to the green travel plan and will lead to overall emission reduction. But necessarily, it's not required. Then we can write about employee welcome packs. General information of car and bicycle parking facilities available on site. Advice regarding accessing public transport timetables and real-time travel information through web pages or hard copies of train and bus timetable for nearby routes available. Advice on how to access public transport or cycling. Then information of my key and details of the closest my key top-up point can be provided. So basically, it's not required every time. Only thing it's required in the, for example, if we have universities where people are coming from overseas or from different areas, then they might require some information about all those stuff. So that's why employee welcome pack and all is really helpful for all the people in the building. Signage. As I've already discussed about a point in my previous slides, that signage, or if it's clearly mentioned on the site about different amenities or different typologies of parking, then it will really help the development. So it is recommended that the following signage be installed at suitable locations within the site boundary. Bicycle parking signage should be installed so as to direct cyclists to the bicycle facilities. A map showing more leisurely bicycle routes to work. A map showing public transport routes to work. These signs can be updated as and when required to be up to date with public transport infrastructure, supporting infrastructure on and near site, and any other updates in Green Travel Plan applicable to the development. Carpooling. What is a carpooling? Carpooling is when two or more people use a single car to travel together to a common destination. Carpooling should be encouraged, therefore minimizing the overall number of car journeys to the facility. Employees can be encouraged to register with carpool.com.au, a website that has been prepared to join together potential carpoolers from a specific area. An alternative to carpooling is car share schemes. Car shares are generally privately run schemes where companies offer a range of vehicles for short-term hire. As we can see image on the right hand side, we can see a go get sign here. That's pretty common in Melbourne, or I think other suburbs as well and other cities as well. It's pretty easy. Companies can just log in and with the go get area, and then their employees can use this card if they have to go for a meeting. They don't have to get their cars always on the site, which will lead to much less reductions, and it will avoid the chaos for the parking. And the last slide, conclusion. So I think many of our clients and all of us can think that GTP is only required as a tick box exercise for the planning permit, but it can contribute to the built environment in many ways. How? It can enhance the outlook of the development, can contribute in emission reduction massively. That's pretty straightforward. If vehicles are used less, then obviously there will be less reduction in emissions, so it can help the environment. And it can prevent overcrowding and chaos in the development. Yes, we have seen and experienced in a lifetime many a times that there's overcrowding taking place, there's chaos in the development, we cannot find the parking, then we are spending a lot of time in finding the parking. So if we have a proper plan, then we can avoid all those considerably. And something I think we all are aware of, that it promotes fitness and healthy lifestyle. It can lead to noise reduction, improve mental health of the occupants. Even in well standard, it's clearly written that if we promote healthy lifestyle and healthy fitness and public access amenities or bicycle amenities, if we can promote bicycle amenities to the employees, then it can really lead to good well-being of the development and the human being. So I will finish my presentation here. If you guys have any questions, you can email us or contact us on Instagram or LinkedIn. So thank you all.